Hello, everyone. I am going to talk about thesis statements right now. Uh, the thesis statement is an important sentence that um, I view it kind of like a roadmap. That's the reason why I picked this Prezi right here to represent thesis statements. Let's just take a look and see what I have right here. The thesis statement is that one sentence that tells your readers what your paper will be about. Um, Granted, your thesis statement may change a little bit depending upon what type of paper you have. If you have a narrative, it might be a little different as opposed to reporting information or even an argumentative paper in which you are required to share your opinion. So a little different depending upon what type, but basically I view it as the heart of the essay. All ideas circle back to support the thesis statement. Let's see here. There are two different types of thesis statements. There's a closed thesis statement and an open thesis statement. And we're going to look at some examples here in a little bit, but a closed thesis statement is very useful in a short essay. Typically, you see those closed thesis statements in 5-paragraph essays. Usually has the 3 points listed in the thesis statement, whereas an open thesis statement, the main points are not stated. So let's take a look and see. Oops, I'm sorry. What I am talking about here. Closed thesis statements. Main points are stated, and each point represents the main idea for each body paragraph, typically seen in 5-paragraph essays. Just for example, here, this is a thesis statement speaking about Greece. Greece is a wonderful place to visit because of its rich history, beautiful location, and language. Granted, you can write a whole book over this. I mean, there's books over Greece, but if you were to write a condensed essay and we're going to use a closed thesis statement, you would have a paragraph over the rich history, a paragraph over beautiful location, and one over language. So in a typical essay format, you have the intro, and you work your way. You have a hook. You bring the reader's attention into what it is that you're writing, and you work your way down into the thesis statement. The thesis statement is typically at the end of the introductory paragraph. And then you represent the main ideas. In this case, the main ideas are mentioned within the thesis statement, and then have a concluding paragraph in which you sum up all your ideas. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay. Open thesis statements. Let's take a look at that. An open thesis statement is really nice for flexibility, really nice for those longer essays, because instead of using those 3 main points or however many points, use a kind of like an umbrella statement, so to speak. Greece is a wonderful place to visit because of its long living, vibrant culture. You could talk about a whole lot with long living, vibrant culture. You can talk about rich history. You can talk about location and language, all underneath this umbrella phrase, long living, vibrant culture. So those are the different types. Those are 2 different types. One other thing here that I'd like to mention. Either format is correct. The open does allow for more flexibility, particularly helpful when one is in college since essays can be of any length. One of the downsides to having an open thesis statement is that a writer might lose his or her direction. So it's important to stay on track. As long as you reiterate your thesis and as long as all your ideas circle back to support your thesis, then you are doing just fine. Okay, let's talk about this roadmap metaphor. Um, a good thesis statement will include a topic and a controlling idea. The controlling idea gives the essay direction and answers that so what question. So in the topic of your thesis statement, you are introducing the topic of your essay. In the other part is the controlling idea, and it answers that so what question. When the reader's reading the thesis, the reader should be able to pick up on why it is important. Thesis statements should not be too narrow or broad or avoid vague wording. You kind of have to have a happy medium when it comes to a thesis statement. You need to have the topic and controlling idea. Thesis statement is the roadmap. Okay. Let's look at some examples. Okay, let's look at these few that I have. I have these sentences here. Some of it is in blue and the other is kind of like in a pinkish purplish color. The blue is the topic, whereas the pink is the controlling idea. Learning to write outside the box while maintaining unity and direction is a challenging and rewarding experience. So if one were to write an essay over learning to write outside the box, um, adding this controlling idea, which is a dependent clause right here, while maintaining unity and direction, it, in a sense, gives the essay a little bit of direction other than if you were to just take that part out and just simply state learning to write outside the box is a challenging and rewarding experience. The what is in pink is giving it a little bit of direction. Let's take a look at the next one. My Big Fat Greek Wedding is an entertaining movie because of the humorous collision that takes place between two cultures. This gives the reason because the humorous collision. Here, if you were to ever watch this, you can add the many points of why it is a humorous collision that takes place between two cultures. This is an open thesis statement. Here you can kind of go in different directions and talk about the humorous collision. Due to the financial burdens a couple might face, an expensive wedding may not be a wise decision. Here, this is giving direction. This is the topic. An expensive wedding may not be a wise decision due to the financial burdens a couple might face is the direction in which the writer will go in explaining the financial burdens that may occur from an expensive wedding. Home economics and personal finance classes are important for high school students because these courses help prepare them for the future. Once again, because these courses help prepare them for the future, that is the controlling idea, where the other part is the topic. Okay, and these are the sentences without the controlling idea. I took those out. And you see that these sentences, yeah, they are complete sentences, but they are not good. They're actually weak thesis statements. They do not answer that so what question. So you do want your thesis statements to answer that so what question. I will put this up on Blackboard, but this is a typical essay structure, a visual for you to look at, and I will have that up on Blackboard. This is my Prezi over thesis statements, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.